some stories linger, haunting the American landscape for generations. The Boy in the Box is one such story, a mystery that gripped Philadelphia for 65 years. In 1957, a nameless boy was found in a cardboard box, his identity and story lost to time. He became a symbol of every lost child, a question that demanded an answer as decades passed. Police plastered his photo everywhere, desperate for recognition, but no one came forward. The silence was as chilling as the woods where he was found. He was buried as America's unknown child, a city's promise to never forget. Yet, hope faded as the years turned to folklore. But even the coldest cases can thaw. In the 21st century, science would finally offer a chance to answer the question, who was the boy in the box? February 25, 1957. Frederick Benonis, a college student, checked his muskrat traps in a quiet wooded area off Susquehanna Road. Amid the usual trash, he noticed a large cardboard box. Something felt off. He reported it, but police dismissed it as more garbage. Days later, unable to shake his unease, Benonis returned and looked inside. Wrapped in a flannel blanket was the body of a small, bruised boy. The child, between 4 and 6, had a crudely cut haircut and looked heartbreakingly out of place. Benonis called police, and the investigation began. Officers, hardened by years on the force, were shaken by the sight. The woods were no longer just a dumping ground, they were now a crime scene. The boy's discovery marked the start of one of America's most enduring mysteries. The case would haunt detectives and the city for decades. A child, abandoned and nameless, demanded answers. The investigation would soon reveal just how elusive those answers would be. The boy in the box became a symbol of innocence lost, and the search for his identity began. The autopsy revealed a life of suffering, malnourished, bruised, and killed by blunt force trauma. The boy had been washed and his nails trimmed, a strange act of care after violence. His hair was crudely cut, clippings left on his body. The box was traced to a J.C. store, but thousands had been sold, no way to track the buyer. Inside were a blue corduroy cap and a worn flannel blanket, both unclaimed by anyone. Every clue led to a dead end. The evidence, box, blanket, cap, offered no answers. The boy remained nameless, his story hidden. Investigators were left with more questions than answers. The case grew colder with each passing day. The only certainty, a child's life had ended in tragedy. The investigation pressed on, desperate for a breakthrough, but the mystery only deepened. With no leads, police turned to the public. 400,000 flyers with the boy's photo were distributed asking, "Do you know this boy?" The haunting image brought thousands of tips, but none led to his identity. Newspapers and TV kept the story alive, but the boy remained a ghost. Remington Bristow, a medical examiner's clerk, became obsessed, spending decades chasing leads. He named the boy America's Unknown Child, a title that stuck. In 1998, the boy's body was exhumed for DNA, hoping science could do what police work could not. He was reburied with a proper headstone, a gesture of love from a city that refused to forget. The case became a symbol of hope and heartbreak. The boy's identity remained a secret, but his memory endured. The city adopted him as its own. The search for his name continued year after year. The mystery persisted, waiting for a breakthrough. As years passed, theories multiplied. One focused on a nearby foster home. A bassinet and blankets matched those found with the boy, but no evidence linked the family. Another came from a woman known as M, who claimed her mother bought and abused the boy, then killed him in a fit of rage. Her story fit the evidence, but her mental health issues and lack of proof left it unconfirmed. Each theory brought hope, then disappointment. The truth remained elusive. The boy in the box became a legend, his story retold but never resolved. The case waited for science to catch up. For decades, the case relied on old-fashioned detective work, but forensic genetic genealogy changed everything. In 2019, police used the boy's DNA, extracted years earlier, to search public genealogy databases. The process was painstaking, building family trees from distant cousins, tracing records, and narrowing down possibilities. A breakthrough came with a match to a distant maternal cousin. Genealogists reconstructed the family tree, identifying a likely mother. DNA from her children confirmed the connection. In 2021, the boy's body was exhumed again for final confirmation. The match was perfect. After 65 years, the boy in the box had a name. Science had solved the mystery that haunted generations. The city prepared for a long-awaited answer. The unknown child was unknown no more. On December 8, 2022, Philadelphia police announced the boy in the box was Joseph Augustus Zarelli. Born January 13, 1953, Joseph was 4 when he died. He was no longer a symbol, he was a child with a name, a birthday, and a family. Investigators identified his birth parents, both now deceased, and half-siblings who never knew he existed. The family, shocked but cooperative, chose privacy. Joseph's story was one of secrets and stigma, a child lost in the shadows of the past. A new photo showed Joseph as he was in life, a bright-eyed boy, not just a victim. His headstone now bears his full name, a permanent record of his identity. The revelation was a victory for science and persistence. For detectives, it was a moment of release after decades of searching. Philadelphia could finally mourn a boy they knew. But the question of who killed Joseph remained. The search for justice was not over. The story had entered a new chapter. Knowing Joseph Augustus Zarelli's name was a breakthrough, but not the end. The investigation shifted to finding his killer. Decades-old evidence and faded memories made the task daunting. Police have suspects but no charges. Old theories are being re-examined in light of Joseph's true identity. Justice may be elusive, but the truth still matters. Investigators hope to piece together Joseph's final days and bring closure to his family. For 65 years, he was a ghost. Now he is remembered as a child whose life mattered. His name restored his humanity. The search for answers continues, a city's final act of devotion. The stone at Ivy Hill Cemetery now reads, Joseph Augustus Zarelli, and that at last is a kind of peace.